Welcome to World Sports News with Ernie. Behind the desk is your co host here, Ernie. On top of the desk is Ernie's faithful companion. He calls him the rubber ducky. We on Sports News Review call him Felix. Alrighty, Ernie. It's been a while since our last show, but we're gonna do a new one today, and we're all excited at sport. And Ernie is also included. We're all excited at Sports News Review that the netball women's Australia grand final game was played earlier, but was it at last, Ernie? I didn't see the game. It was at 3 in the morning. You could understand. It was. I couldn't. I just 3 in the morning was. I don't know. It was going to be just too hard for me to, you know, see the game. I just, I was sleeping at 3 in the morning, and because that was in Australia, the game was played in Australia, so the grand final earlier today, and 3 in the morning, and that was our time, EDT, and in Australia it was. Well, a 16 hour. I think it's maybe a 15 hour difference. So you're looking 12 would be 3 in the afternoon. I guess yeah, 3 in the afternoon, 6. So I don't know if it was played at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. I can't remember which how many the hours difference between offhand, without looking it up, like how many hours ahead, or how many different how many time zones difference between our time zone and the Australian time zone the game was played in. So without further ado, Ernie, I should just mention the score first. So the, the score for the game, well, was the Melbourne Vixens 73, the West Coast Fever 72. Now, that makes the Melbourne Vixens your grand final Suncorp Super Netball Women's Australia champion. And, well, Ernie, you look at the score, Melbourne Vixen 73 and the West Coast Fever 72. It was a very close game. By the final score. Now, let's break down the quarters by scores first. The, Now, quarter number one. Melbourne Vixens 18, West Coast Fever 19. Quarter number two, the Melbourne Vixens 19, the West Coast Fever 19. So then the third quarter, it was the Melbourne Vixens 20 and the West Coast Fever 14. Then in the fourth quarter, the West Coast Fever tried to catch up, but they fell short by 1 point. To tie, 2 points. Well, one would have tied the game, put it in overtime, but they fell short. They would have needed 2 points to win the game, with 1 point to tie it. But the Melbourne Vixens scored 16, and the West Coast Fever scored 20. So if the West Coast Fever would have scored 22 points, or maybe even 16 points, but that's neither here or there, because your new 2024 Suncorp Super Netball Women's Australia Grand Final champion is the Melbourne Vixens. And here at Sports News Review, we just never got a chance to see any of the netball games, but we kept reporting on. But we were just trying to be informative of the Suncorp Super Netball. We were trying to, and it was also the England, and also in England. here at Sports News Review, our policy from the start was when we hired Ernie, and we remember that first promo we did. Sports News Review is happy to announce that we've hired Ernie to do World Sports News with Ernie on the Sports News Review YouTube channel. And, well, what we started off with netball because we wanted to promote netball because it's a sport not rarely seen. And the whole point of going on Sports News Review is to see sports. Well, we can't show them. We just don't know how the algorithm works. That can we just show a few seconds, a few highlights? You know, are we allowed to grab the tablet, put it in front of the in front of the camera and show highlights? I don't know, Ernie. I don't know what kind of credentials a YouTube channel needs to be able to show like highlights. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Now, we just promoted it every week to say, hey, folks, there's a sport. First we promoted the idea of watching netball by saying, hey, folks, there's a sport I really didn't know much about, and in my advanced age. I'm older than Ernie. Ernie, of course, was created in, I can't remember now offhand. Ernie, you don't have to. Well, it was either 1969 or 1970. So it depends on. Ernie was created in 1969 or debuted in 1970. I'm not sure, but either way, I am older than Ernie, and as far as netball goes, not sure. I never asked you, Ernie, if you ever heard of netball before, but I don't recall ever. Like I'm trying to go back in my memory bank right now and thinking, did I ever hear that sport netball? And I'm like, no. And then it's like, why? Why not? After looking it up, like, why didn't we not hear of that sport called netball? And why didn't I have a chance to play netball in a gymnasium on our side of the globe? I mean, it's so simple, yet I don't know what to think. Like, it's just one of those things in life where it's like, why were we never, how come we were like in life, on this side? Well, I can't speak for every school district in this side of the globe, but Ernie, I guarantee you, if you just go to just like, well, you don't want to scare people, but you can pretend you're like, you get a nice little microphone with a logo like that, go in front of have a camera person, have our camera operator. It looks more professional, and pretend I could do, maybe I could do that. If I did that, Ernie, and went out, I have to get somebody to help operate the camera and just drive to another, just drive to another city, or if you live in the big cities, oh well, then just stay, and just ask around and say, hey, have you heard of the sport netball? I would love to see the response of older folk, because it's going to be a vast majority, and we're not wagering, but we don't promote wagering on Sports News Review, but if someone wants to wager, it's like, I think you would put that the majority of people interviewed on the street never heard of netball. after over, let's just say over 50. We'll just throw over, even over 35. But the younger folk, I could say a possibility of here and there have heard of netball, and if they're young, and that was the other thing too, was trying to promote netball, and just like, and not have like disparaging remarks towards the sport of netball, because it doesn't, you can't, remember I jokingly said, well, you can't shoot from downtown because of the way the rules are played and the zones, and there's the shooting zone to both teams have on either side, one side of the court, and the other team will have it on the other side of the court. There's a zone where you're allowed to score from, to get into the net. Now, no backboard, so yeah, like you. Well, the video game, Ernie. Let's put it with our. We'll put it with our generation. It might have been actually not my generation, even yours, because when NBA Jam came out, we were both kind of old, and yeah, it was just that, I was just young at heart, and I still went to video arcades when NBA Jam was in the arcades. Now, for folks, just quickly, NBA Jam, famous for Boom Shakalaka Laka and From Downtown. And I said, well, you can't shoot it from downtown. Stealing it, inadvertently stealing it, a line from NBA Jam. But it was just so good. I used to love that. From downtown and Boom Shakalaka Laka. Or I think it was he's on fire because it was NBA players, and it was he's on fire, and the mysterious disappear. And, at the time it was like, if Michael Jordan wasn't on, I was like, oh, okay, but let's not hear there. That's not here or there for what we're talking about now. There's no more. It's one of those odd things you don't. You don't see Michael Jordan on the original. What was it again? Yeah, the NBA Jam video game. If I think I'm correct on this one, Ernie. Yeah, I think I am correct on this one. Where, yeah. Well, once again, Ernie's looking at me going, "What is going on here? You're just rambling on. You're older than me, and you're starting the show." Yes. Well, yes, Ernie, you're absolutely correct. And yeah, I'm rambling on. Okay, so the whole, and it was so the problem is, Ernie, we ramble on too long. If people will forget, what the heck was the point of this all? Oh yes, it was that. Well, there can't be a netball jam game like the way NBA Jam game, and for demographics that can remember that NBA Jam and actually playing, inserting a quarter. I think it was still a quarter. It wasn't 50 cents yet. I remember some video games went to 50 cents at the end, at the very end of its existence. To things in life just happen. And 25 cents wasn't cutting it anymore for some games. I think there were some really good video games, if I remember correctly, because I was really old, but I just used to kind of go to arcades. So, yeah, like the netball game, video game, and netball jam. Let's just pretend they're like netball jam. And there's no boom shakalaka laka, and there's no from downtown. So I could imagine. There's no, like our demographics that, well, younger than us, Ernie, at the time. Well, there's no boom shakalaka. There's no from downtown. Well, it's a different sport, and that's the whole. And don't, like we were trying, and this is I know. Okay, so I look at the time right now. 14 minutes, 15 minutes now. Just went to 15 minutes. Now, and we're still on netball because we're done with netball until the men's league come back for World Sports News with Ernie, and well, the next is going to be the what we're going to have here is going to be netball, and it's going to be men's Australia and England whenever their league. I'm not sure at the moment. I didn't look it up yet. Um, so well, Ernie, we well we tried our best to promote netball, and throughout the whole tenure of our netball series, promoting it and saying, "Hey, there's games this weekend, and if you're interested in netball, it's out there." Or hey, if you're a parent and you just happen to see Ernie on the old television, the old tele. No, I'm not going to use that four-letter word with a B and ends with a B and it means tube. And this is a family oriented. This is yes, it is family oriented. I have puppets, so I'm not going to use any. We don't at Sports News Review when it comes to World Sports News with Ernie. We try to do non-violent sports and non yeah, sorry, it's non-violent. We're going to do non-combative sports. I think that's the difference we're going to do. Now, as far as violence, when it's non-combative, then there shouldn't be a high degree of violence. I mean, violence, like what if we can look up the word violence, and it could be possibly 5 different meanings, 7, who knows, whatever dictionary you pull out, and is it violence when the two opposing even the word opposing should be used? I'm not sure. Well, two players from opposing teams or opposite teams or the other team collide by accident. I guess it's violent, violent, but it's not that it has violence purposely. Like combative sports is purposely violent. That's the whole nature of being a combative sport. And Ernie, like I said earlier, is that we are World Sports News with Ernie, showing Ernie behind the desk here. Uh, we we just can't get into combative sports like the boxings and the whatever fighting kind of. We can't even do judo. We're not sure here in Sports News Review. We're not even sure about wrestling. We just Ernie. So, but netball just fit the criteria for being different in the our continent here, and the Western Hemisphere. Yes, on the globe, is it really west? Is it east? Yes, 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 yes. We at Sports News Review are well aware. Uh, everyone can still always use old references, and to make it easier, Ernie. I know Ernie is ready to say, "Hey, you know." Ernie's ready to ask that question, but I already said was, how come it's the Western Hemisphere when the Earth is round? And well, it spins on an axis, and it's kind of like elongated, actually, very complicated. How to spew it all on a sports channel, but point being, Ernie, is that the well, we the references like West and East are used. It's just to be able to give a visualization, easier visualization, and that's So now, what I'm trying to say is that like, yeah, you just gotta you got it's just easier to point out, and I know we're all equal on this earth we live on. Yes, and uh Ernie is definitely saying that we are all equal on this earth, and we in the sports news review, we all say the same thing too, where we are all equal on this earth, and maps aren't going to determine a hierarchy in this world. We we are all equal, and we should all have an equal chance for enjoyment, and not let someone else intimidate others into having fun, to like you know we go off on a spew here, but what happens if someone else picks up, as they say, picks up the ball and runs with it, like American football, I guess would be, or rugby, I guess would be, for a worldwide audience. We are, well, YouTube can be worldwide. I mean, yes, this video can be viewed in Australia. So, yeah, I'd say New Zealand. Yep, yes, this video can be viewed in New Zealand. So we can't consider ourselves a worldwide channel, but that's without Ernie kind of going, okay, I bring my the brand name is Gravel, I guess, for the tablets. Yeah, Ernie, I know you don't want to start. I know we don't need it. We don't need a bucket beside. We get a little bucket beside Ernie in case of put it on his desk in case I'm just going too long about being a world champion, champion world of, or of champion world peace, which Ernie is in total agreement with. Of course, Ernie is in total agreement. But point being, Ernie's, what I'm trying to say is that, like, I just don't want no, backlash from people that put, like, hey, we tried netball, but we were being discouraged by others. That's what I meant earlier, Ernie. Is like, we have to not, like, as a society, I could see that happening as like in a certain age back in the day, throwing insults and intimidation to not play netball. You know, I never heard of netball, but I just imagine if I wanted to play netball, it's like, oh, you're not good enough for basketball, so you're playing netball. Like that, I'm gonna say that might have been one of those remarks I might have heard when I was very young. And well, Ernie, that's the world we grew up in, and I just want to say that in 2024, and we're coming up to 2025. Like, we need to not, as a society, to like like not let others have fun. If there's people having fun playing netball, of course you agree. I know 100%. And Ernie's saying yes, I do agree. And saying, to like, why should a a small group of people determine what what others can do with their free time? And that's what I'm totally against. We are, and I could say that in Sports News Review, we're totally against people not not letting others enjoy a recreational sport because they might not agree with it for whatever reason. You know, it doesn't fit their standards. Like I said, the whole point is the disparaging remarks of like, there's no boom shakalaka, there's no down. We netball, and that's where it comes from. Circle, Ernie. And I'm hoping that that's just because I'm not gonna keep tabs on netball till the season starts again. But I hope that I could actually hear about people playing netball in this hemisphere, as they say, and it's like this half of the world. Nice, I'd say, nice. Let them enjoy their sport in peace. That's all I'm saying, and I hope we can all come together on that one. That no one like on this side of the hemisphere and Europe and Australia and New Zealand, because I can only speak for the world I grew up in. I'm not going to get into other cultures and that. Just to like, you should be allowed to enjoy a recreational sport, and it doesn't have to be netball. It could be another sport, like a field hockey, and not be like discouraged by others because maybe they don't approve of it for whatever reason. Like, I can understand at a certain age, you get older, and we're in total agreement. But yeah, unfortunately, I could I'm just visioning. What I'm doing is I'm having a vision, Ernie, of myself in a elementary school setting way back in the day, like long time ago, and enjoying netball. But if certain people are not, they're not good at netball, but they're better than basketball than netball, will kindly kind of always make disparaging, is that the correct term, disparaging remarks. Well, and is that the right term? Let's see, did I threw the $5 word of the day. Okay, that was the $5 word of the day. And let's see if it helps. So let's see. Come on. Here we go. Disparaging remark. When you're when you're disparaging, you express negative, low opinions. Yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, just by happenstance, I got the right $5 word and it worked. Okay, so yeah, so that was my spiel on that, and well, I can't. Well, I just like I said, I can't wait to report on the netball men's league. But let's just do one last summary. So the netball women's Australia Grand Final champions are the Melbourne Vixens. Alrighty, Ernie. With that, we'll go to our next story. Alrighty, Ernie. We'll go to our second sports news item, and it's the snooker. We're gonna go report on snooker, and it was in Shanghai, China, and they had the championship for the snooker Shanghai, and it was okay. So it was from, as they say, from July the 15th to the July 21st, and it was played at the Shanghai Indoor Stadium in Shanghai, China. And the previous champion was Ronnie O'Sullivan in 2023, and the let's see, let's make sure. Let's make sure. Okay. Okay, so yes, I just wanted to make sure. I was looking at the semifinals. Had okay, so I guess it was Jude Trump, Sean Murphy, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Mark Shelby. Okay, so uh, when I look at the okay, so yes, it was Jude Trump playing Ronnie O'Sullivan. So Jude Trump ended. It was in the final, and then this is the semifinal match. It was Jude Trump versus Ronnie O'Sullivan, and then there was also another semifinal match, Sean Murphy and Mark Shelby. Now the two winners of that semifinal was Jude Trump and Sean Murphy, and then in the final, I, I'm not familiar with the scoring, how it's done. I just wanted to watch it, Ernie. I really, really wanted to watch it, but I just can't. I if it's not on regular cable, like I said, regular cable sports channels, or if they show it for free on YouTube live stream, like one example was watching the AFL, which is the Arena Football League, and then they used to have their games live streamed, and it looked like any like sporting event you'd watch, and I'm like, yes. I mean, there can be a live stream. People like the netballs and the snookers. I, I, yes, I could. How would it? They could have live streamed it on YouTube Premium. Yes, but that's the thing. It gets into like, well, if they're gonna live stream on YouTube Premium the netball and the snooker like this, it just happened now. The well, we're going on the snooker, of course. To like Ernie, like I'm just saying that, like to. Well, I try to look at it as the business point of view for YouTube. Is like, would I definitely would get YouTube Premium if these sports were available on YouTube Premium. Maybe they are. I never knew about it. And here I am going, wow, I could have been watching all this and I didn't know. Oh, I mean, like, oh, darn. I could have been watching all this and I didn't know because like I said, because the YouTube was doing it on the YouTube Premium. I highly doubt it. I don't see a business model that can. They would have to pay the snooker organization and the Suncor Super League and the Netball Super League in England to to broadcast these events on YouTube Premium, and they're just there just wouldn't have been enough interest for people to sign up to, like, I don't, even if I was Hey, Ernie, even if I was working at YouTube, okay, and I came up with this idea, I can imagine there's a boardroom with a long uh, table, as they say, like the boardrooms would have long tables, and because you got chairman of the boards, it's not going to be a round table where it's each person is discussing, like the sports. A sports talk round table is different than a corporate table, because a corporate round table would be all, like, I guess for the corporate roundtable, it would be the no one is really in charge. Everyone has in the corporations. They don't. You need someone in charge to, because there has to. I don't know. Whatever. However, Ernie, there could be corporations that have roundtables as corporations, for all I know. So I could be just talking nonsense for no reason right now. Not a valid reason, I should say, Ernie. Ernie's like, get to the point. You are so correct, Ernie. Get to the point. Yes. So, I, okay. So if I was an executive at YouTube, and I'm like, oh, let's have this. I got this idea. I want to pitch, as they say, using the American baseball terminology, analogy, more like it. And it's like, what if we, what if we did like netball, snooker, darts, available on YouTube Premium? But then it's like, sure, but they're going to be, and then someone would point out, sure, but they're gonna like, they're gonna be, the live stream will consist of just a rebroadcasting the say like the netball Suncourt Super Netball feed. 1 second. Sorry, Ernie. I just hit pause just so I can cough. Ernie heard me cough, and yeah, he's like, yeah, I definitely don't want people to hear coughing. If you could avoid it, like, that's the only editing power I have is to pause. So I knew ahead of time. Oh, maybe if I hit pause, I can cough and not worry about sounding weird on the video, and I don't feel like starting over again. I really don't. I just don't feel like starting over again. Okay, so yeah, so pitching the idea to YouTube, then someone would, as I said, someone would point out, well, you're going to be, and the snooker, whatever league snooker is going to be shown. And then the thing is, like, I could come back and say, yes, yes, as they pretend to be on the YouTube corporate board. Uh, it's like, yes, yes, I was well aware of that, but I would ask, hey, do we have? I don't know if they use the words "hey," but anyways, but do we have a method where, say, where it's being shown, like on the like regular, like, say, like in Australia, where the netball is being shown on TV, would not conflict with YouTube, because then you're blocking. It's quite the law. It's quite the feed. So you have to. What YouTube would have to do is block the feed in Australia, or possibly, or it gets too complicated, possibly, because it's being played. It's being played on a network that's paying for all this. But we would pay the others, maybe, like, YouTube could pay for. There's just no model for it. There couldn't be a model for it. Yeah, so my idea of showing snooker, the snooker could have been on YouTube Premium. Yeah, it's got to be available to everyone at the same time, or it's just not really going to work. And And then like who's gonna? There has to be advertising, and it's not a big deal to have advertising on the netball and the snooker. You could the scroll advertising or actual commercials, even a 15-second commercial, but they're just not there. I mean, like Ernie. I always want. This is the weirdest analogy, but it can possibly make sense. I wonder if anyone could see that fruit. I'm sorry to interrupt myself here again, but there's a one fruit fly, and I kind of what I do is I just I just leave an open bag, let the fruit flies go get in the bag, and then just kind of just open the bag outside. Just put the bag outside and let them outside. I don't harm Ernie. I can't harm anything anymore in life. I just can't, the thought of harming these little fruit flies. I can't do it. There's one flying. I don't know if the camera catches it. Yeah, there's it does. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of that 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 will not be harmed whatsoever. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. There could be 15 or 20 in the room. It doesn't bother me. I don't harm flies. I let them out again. I just let them out. I let mosquitoes finish the business. I don't even care if I was like to me. Uh, to me, it's like if I lived out and about, like out in the country. Um, I would, you know, I would like. I I don't know. I guess I would just like to like say that like mosquitoes. I would just have a like a screen. I don't need uh these repellents. I don't like these repellents. I don't like. I'm talking like living out. Even if I was living out, even I'm living out in deep woods country. If I'm living out there, I'm not. I'm just saying. It doesn't. I'm just saying like mosquitoes don't bother me in the sense that like, well, I would just go in the sunscreen area. The screens. I mean, like they don't. I just don't care. I don't. I just. I can't harm life anymore. I just cannot harm life anymore. Unwilling, like unknowing, like knowingly, like to knowingly harm life anymore. And I don't know what to say. I mean, it's kind of weird, but how I. No, it shouldn't be weird. That should be the norm. Is try not to harm life. I don't have. Like, see, Ernie. I. I suppose it's weird to someone else, but not to me. That I don't harm anything. I don't care about. Uh, like I said, we could back up the video anytime, and you could see the fruit fly flew in front of Felix over there because Felix is yellow, and I caught it, and I did see the fruit fly, and I'm like, it's flying around somewhere. It's now kind of made a landing somewhere, and I'm not sure where. Um, I really don't have any fruit in here. Uh, I do eat. I do. I'm broadcasting sports news review out of the bedroom, and using a little section as the studio, and I don't have the room to like sit on. It's a whole. It needs a desk. You need it. I don't have that kind of. I don't have that kind of a size of a bedroom, like Ernie's desk over there. So yeah, to broadcast uh, like traditional style at the desk, and I really don't want to show my face, and I just want it to be the sports news review channel. And it's my friendly fruit fly. It's flying around me now. Don't know if it's back. It's back. It was in front of made it in front of the camera, and then it went out of the camera range. Okay, so I hopefully we'll see him again land on the desk. I hope he lands on the desk for I'll be in, as they say, Nirvana, or everything will come together, peace on earth, and goodwill to others. And that's all like I said, in Sports News Review, we're all about peace on earth, goodwill to others, and yeah. So, well, oh my gosh, all this, and we didn't even mention. Did we even mention who the grand champion was after all this? Okay, so you're the. It looks like you're okay. So your winner. Okay, it's got to be Judd Trump. Is that the right one? Judd Trump? Judd Trump. Okay, so is he the current? Let's see. Let's see. He's number 2 world ranking right now. It's Jude. Is it Jude? Judd? Judd? Judd. That's a yeah. I think that's the proper way to pronounce it. Okay. Born August the 20th, 1989, and he's 34 years old. In his professional status, season as a pro was in 2005. And I'm looking to see. Hey, maybe it's Sean Murphy. Wait. Oh no. Okay. I'm really having trouble here seeing who the champion is. How's it? Okay, Judd Trump. It says 4, 11, 5. Sean Murphy 7. Wait. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm gonna have to. I can't. If I go by the score, I totally messed it up. It's Sean Murphy is the champion. It looks like. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to just. I'm trying to make sure. I'm not. I'm just having trouble with this one right now. And let's see. I'm gonna put the. I'm gonna go to the Wikipedia page of it because they just give me the. I know in layman's terms who's the champion. Okay, so it's the. Okay, I'm gonna put the name of it. Okay, let's go with the Shanghai it's well, the name I don't want to use because we have. Okay, so it's a non-ranking tournament. It was okay. So I'm looking at the Wikipedia page now to make sure I know who actually won the event. Okay, 2024 Shanghai Masters non-ranking tournament. It took place at the Shanghai Indoor Stadium. Okay, it featured 24 players, the top 16 players in the world rankings. And because it was being played in China, they invited 8. That's why it's a non-ranking. Okay, I was wondering why was it non-ranking? Because China, they're paying for this. It's like, well, if they might not have anyone in the world rankings enough to qualify for it. So they had 8 invited Chinese uh, players, which I understand completely because then they were trying to go like if you didn't have invited Chinese players, then it would be like, why would you hold this? Remember, Ernie, it's very expensive to hold these events. So, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, that would be the same. Like if there was a snooker tournament being held, see, it would be like the snooker invitational in USA, the United States of America, and so they invited. There was going to be 24 players. So they invited 16 of the world top 16 world players, and you find out, oh, okay, there's not one American that's in the top 16. So it's like, okay, it's an invitational. So the top 8 American snooker players got to play with the top 16, and like if you didn't do that, Ernie, they would literally be like zero. Like the promoters, like would really take as they say, take a bath on this promotion and sporting this event, and so to avoid like in the case of China, you didn't have to worry about avoiding a huge financial loss, but trying to explain like why are we doing this for why are we doing this tournament again when there really isn't yet, like there's interest possibly, but maybe it just started coming. How do you compete against England when the interest of snooker was been there for more than 100 years? And there could have been interest in China more than 100 years. Like there's snooker interest more than 100 years in the United States of America, but when we get it on a professional level, that's on a different plane, as they say. That is totally different plane between professionals and the top professionals in snooker. Yeah, it's just like the opportunities here. Now, did I ever have opportunity to play snooker? Yes, I did. I can't claim I never had a chance to play snooker. Ernie, if I was that good at snooker, of course, being on this side of the globe, it's going to be, billiards with 8 ball. Because it's the fact, where do we play on this side of the globe, Ernie? Back in the day when uh, you're yours truly here at the Sports News Review, Ernie, I didn't really like. I really didn't want to be at these nightclubs back in the day. I just didn't know what else to do. I just, I so I would go to nightclubs, and now there's the pool table. Now, and I've played pool at other establishments. It doesn't have to be nightclubs, but I'm just saying, if there was a pool table there, I wasn't exactly, I say like, uh, going, hey, I'm gonna play pool because I, I always, as they say, I'm not that great. I wasn't that great at it, So, and like the opportunities were always there, and if I was very, like I say, a super, just natural at playing snooker or billiards. I mean, like there, I know, and I'm gonna say this with, hopefully, like pure sincerity, that I cannot claim, oh, woe is me, I've never really had a chance to play snooker. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's just a matter of like how dedicated was I compared to how good I was, and I'll never know until I, you can't. You gotta. Snooker is a lot of practice, and billiards, like any sport, it's an art form. You know, like you can't. If someone is good at snooker or billiards, like eight ball or not, nine ball is really not played much in the bars. It's mostly eight ball because it's a quicker game, and you know, even with the tables that may or may not be up to quality standards of a tournament, like professional tournament, but come on, it's a pool table, and yeah, hopefully no one jumped on it, knocked off one, leg is a little wobbly, this and that, whatever, And I did play on people like the other people, it's people's homes and playing on pool tables, if they had a pool table in their rec room back in the day. So yes, I can't claim that. No, I've never played snooker, and I never played. And yeah, I did, and so well, like I said, it was just, I yeah, you just have to, you really can in life know, like, this person just has a natural ability to play the billiards, as snooker, or eight ball, or nine ball, whatever, and yeah, I mean, people like, yeah, like people would say, "Wow, wow, you're really good at billiards. You should, look into a next level. Maybe even have a guru and all that." And yeah, because was when it comes to like billiards, what do I remember as billiards? Minnesota Fats, of course. That was what he called himself. That was back in the day. I don't know if anybody, no one's allowed to be called Fats, not because like Fats Domino and all that, because it's a time and an era, and that's them. You know, you can't, somebody from Wisconsin or somebody from whatever, Wyoming, Idaho, California, can't call themselves California Fats or Idaho Fats right now. It just, no, you can't. No, there's only one Minnesota Fats, and I'm not gonna look up his name and real name and all that, but there is a real person associated with it, and for obviously for marketing purposes, to put on the marquee billboard like we have on the World Sports right there. I'm gonna point over there, Ernie, just to point out. Well, I'll present it out there, like World Sports News with Ernie. It could have had like the other big name I remember, of course, Willie Mosconi. Now he could have had like whatever organization, uh, nine ball, because nine ball would have been their choice of billiard game. Usually, yeah, nine ball would have been it. So it could have been like the league name where it says world league name, world champion. Yeah, I could have put nine ball. Willie Mosconi versus, and of course Minnesota Fats, just for the marketing. It was all about the marketing, and like I said, just you can't you can't use the same name. Wait, maybe I'll put this racing car over here, racing car mouse. Okay, so you can't use the same names as before because it's just no. There's only one in my opinion, and you know you can't no. That's it. No one else is allowed to use that name. And as far as music goes, no one else is allowed to call themselves, uh, fats, whatever. It was a time and a place. Um, it's now, we understand it. It's not like, yeah, it's just this different world we live in now, and we're not gonna. We're gonna be like, don't, you can't call yourself that. You can't use another person's moniker to promote yourself, and that's just the way it is. But like, so well, I forgot to. The whole point is, wait. The whole point is, Who actually won the championship? Let's see. Okay, so okay, so let's see the defending. Oh, nice photo. Okay. Okay, yeah. The runner-up was Sean Murphy, and the champion was Judd Trump. Yeah, Judd Trump was the champion from England, and Sean Murphy was the runner-up. Okay, okay. So okay, so okay, so looking at that. Oh, okay. So then, but Ronnie O'Sullivan, the 2023 champion. I'm just looking up the what happened. Like I'm going on the Wikipedia page here, and then it says that the Ronnie O'Sullivan won against Luca Brito. That's the Brazil. That's the 2023. Okay, so but O'Sullivan lost in the semifinal to Judd Trump, who went on to win the tournament by winning over Sean Murphy. So yes, so Judd Trump, Judd, the person who I just mentioned earlier, is yes, that was the okay. So yeah, Judd Trump is an English professional snooker player, a former world champion, and former number one. Okay, so, but we get get back up there. Okay, so we're looking. He's also have what they call the Triple Crown titles for snooker, and I'm looking at his okay, I'm looking at his Wikipedia page, and they got a picture of John Trump, and he's got Burger King on his lapel. I'm like, oh, you just made me so hungry for you know what. Okay, all right, advertising work. Advertising works, folks. It really does. Okay, yeah. So he is from England. Well, he has a nickname which I didn't know, the Ace in the Pack. Yeah, okay, cool. That's nice. That's a nice one. 2005 to present. Okay, so uh, he was the world champion in 2019. Oh, okay, okay. So it's Judd Trump, Judd Trump, is the Shanghai. I'm gonna say Invitational Open, I guess. Uh, Not really much of an invitation. Well, Shanghai Invitational should have been called really because because like I said, you had 8 players that were. I understand. Like I said earlier, we said it earlier too. If it was the United States of America being held, and before they try to say put this in Las Vegas, the obvious choice would be Las Vegas to put this in. You got enough people. Las Vegas is the perfect venue, in my opinion, to be doing snooker. because there's so many people that come from wherever, and they want to look at something different. Let's just say, like the average American that's citizen, I'm saying the average American citizen visiting Las Vegas, and they're from, say, another state, like, say, just Washington or Iowa, wherever, and like there it is, the Las Vegas snooker, whatever they want to call it, invitation. See, it's really invitational. Well, they're just gonna say the Las Vegas snooker tournament or championship, the Las Vegas snooker championship. So they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna have 24 players in the tournament, and then 16 will be like the top 16 world ranking. But they were gonna try to do 24, but unfortunately, there wouldn't have been even an American in the top 24. So then it was 16 top world players with 8 American invited. And like I said, it's understandable to because the interest would have been insane if the American, like, for United States viewership, there would have been, all of a sudden there would have been like, oh, like scrambling, like, oh, do I have this streaming service that's showing this Las Vegas Invitational? If an American was, if an American made it to one of the 8 in this made up Las Vegas tournament, to try to compare it to what happened at the Shanghai tournament, is that you had 8 invited, you know, Chinese players, because they would be like it would promote the sport, actually, to have someone from the home country to make it to the final. But it wasn't even close. It looked like, I was looking at the results of previous matches. It was like, yeah. And even if that happens in Las Vegas, in this made up tournament I just said, where you got like the 8 American invited players, the top 8 American snooker players, and they're probably gonna end up losing in the first round. But it's like, well, they tried. They tried, because if they would have made it farther, 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 yes, there would have been a lot of citizens going, "Hey, do I get that streaming service or whatever?" Could have been on ESPN, possibly. I'm not sure. Maybe it was originally going to be on ESPN, but then all of a sudden it's like, "Hey, do we get ESPN?" You, like, that's why they would do this, and that's why like an ESPN or a streaming service would show it, because if it might made up a tournament, Ernie, that the interest would be there all of a sudden, and it would help snooker. And it's not like I said, it's non-ranking. So, well, if you win this tournament, the person that wins the tournament, it doesn't automatically gain. They don't lose spots from, like, you don't gain or lose spots on this tournament on the world ranking stage, because because of the 8 invited guests. That's that's just, yeah, it can't be recognized as like winning this tournament means, oh, you're the new world champion for number 1 ranking. No, I can't do that, because you had 8 invited guests. That was the downside of that tournament. But there was so much upside to it, where if, as I said, it wouldn't matter if it was in China, which it did happen, or in the United States, which I made up, of course, just now, just to explain it better. That, yeah, the idea is that like to promote the sport, and that would really help promote the sport. So if anyone out there, Ernie, is going, hey, that doesn't seem fair. No, it's and talent talent came out ahead of you know. So like that's let's just put it all to rest and just let it be. And for the sake of snooker, it's let's just say it was like an opportunity to promote it more. And I said earlier, it's just I would have loved to have watched that grand final game with Judd Trump and the other. I can't. You see, I'm not very familiar with snooker. And oh, Sean, let me do this memory. Sean Murphy was it? Was it Sean Murphy? Okay. Well, no, I was looking. That was looking at the Judge Trump. Okay, they're gonna have Sean Murphy. Yeah, it should be right here. Okay, so I'm looking it up again to make sure. And yeah, was it Sean Murphy? Yeah, Sean Murphy. Yes, I was correct in my memory. It was the okay. So Sean Murphy was the runner-up to Judd Trump, and Judd Trump is Shanghai, the one we reported on, Invitational, and well, there's some more coming up. Tournaments coming up. Because I'm going to be next edition of Sports World Sports News with Ernie. I will be possibly having another one reporting on, but see, they can. I've had this up before. Okay, so I did promote it earlier. Now, if you're the first time coming on this, we were promoting this earlier to give it, and now we're just well, we had this. I had this on the board, and of course, I had to take all the other stuff off that was finished. It was all done with, and so like I said, Ernie, this will be a this board will be cleaned right out. There's going to be no netball, and there's I don't know, maybe snooker might the title snooker might stay. There might be another term. There might be another tournament that I could. Well, there definitely should be a tournament I could report on and put it up there, and we'll see from there. Right now, because there's not, Ernie. I know Ernie. I was just say I should say, Ernie. I know that you know that we try our best at Sports News Review. And Ernie knows he came in this here comes my comedy routine. So Ernie comes and he says, "Hey, how's it going, folks?" I'm like, "Hey, we're all on Sports News. We're going review, going, oh wow, Ernie, even well respected colleague for like of course the two other I guess the you could put them as well Muppets puppets. I guess there's a whole whatever, but there was like our other stuffed plush toys, of course, are like, hey, well respected Ernie, well known Ernie, is joining Sports News Review. Ernie sees the operation. It's pretty pathetic at the time. And compared to today, the studio you see today. And it's like, Ernie was like, okay, I know, probably thinking, what did I get myself into here? What am I stepping into here? And, it was the old studio where it was at my foot of the bed instead of being separate away from the bed. Now I'm at the foot of the bed lying down where I don't have to sit down on a chair. gonna kill me to sit down on a chair for a long extended period of time, even if the chair is very comfortable and leaning back. I just can't sit on a chair very long unnecessarily like that. And so Ernie is like sees the operation and is like, oh, okay, make do with what we got. And I think I had you standing up at first because I didn't even have a desk for it yet. And then the what was how it came about with the new studio. When they did the new studio, where all it did was reverse the camera around the laptop at the time, because I was using the camera from the laptop and the microphone, and I ended up getting a microphone. But then it was the big game changer having this new camera with the dual microphone built in. That was a whole new game changer for me. But yeah, the whiteboard was the whiteboard at first. It was all white, and then it was just too white for the camera to pick up. So, oh, there's our buddy. I don't know if our little friend is. You can see our little friend, the fruit fly, flying around. I should have put like a little piece of orange peel. I should have put a little piece of orange peel on the desk, or a banana peel, just a piece of it, and it would have came on the desk. I might just give him a piece of something. Might just put a piece of something out there just to feed him, and then and then open the door, open the bag up, close the bag, and then open it up and let it out, fly out. And I don't know what happens. I'm not sure what happens. But before I do that, I'm gonna look up to see if can they survive out there on this. Do they hibernate? I don't know what happens to these fruit flies. Like, do they, like, you think of you try to do the best thing for them by letting them outside, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea yet. Okay, I'll look it up and make sure, because I've been doing that, and it's like other people in the vicinity. You never know. I just don't want to hear them trying to attack fruit flies. I'm like, like, I don't want to get into it with them saying, "Hey, don't touch my fruit flies." Yes. Anyone comes over, invited guests, Ernie, I'm like, "No, don't touch my fruit flies. No, don't touch my fruit flies. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave all my fruit flies alone. Just leave them alone." you know, Not many people in this world do that. I'm one of them. Sports News Review, of course, we are one of them. So yeah, we see. So I said to Ernie that, well, I'm gonna make improvements. Of course, Ernie is just a puppet; it doesn't exist in this. But I just like joking around, saying. But I kept thinking as I'm looking at the programs, I'm like, oh, I gotta make some improvements. I got limited budget, and I mean limited budget. Of course, and I'm all excited too. We got a logo for a microphone, and I'm all excited about that kind of stuff. But we did have improvements here and there. So and then, if I didn't make these improvements, I jokingly say that they kind of would have just drifted off. Maybe Ernie wouldn't come back. One day he's like, "Hey, well, I'm off to New York. I still got that gig in New York where I, once in a while, you know, he's not on. Ernie's not full time like I thought he was. I actually thought he was full time. I didn't realize it later that, oh wait, Ernie's not full time on that show in New York City. So that's why he could, come over and do world sports news with Ernie. Test the waters, as they say. So mostly Ernie's just testing the waters to see if he could do world sports news on his own. And I said, hey, I said to myself, hey, give it a try here first, without, and yeah, so, like like there's gonna be there's improvements here and there, and I need another backdrop for, say, like this is a really nice backdrop for Ernie, but for Coach Coyote, he kind of doesn't blend in with that theme. I gotta find a desert theme for Coach Coyote, you know. And right now, the Munchie Brothers doing tomorrow. Will be doing a live stream on Sports News Review the CFL game, but with the Munchie Brothers. But I I don't have another backdrop for them, and I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. Uh, so we, like I said, everyone in this world strives for more improvement, and I'm the same too. So we'll go to our third. We'll go to another story, another sports news item, and before that, Ernie, I am going to show you like what do you call it? Like, I'm just joking. It didn't happen. But I'm gonna pretend that a young viewer sent in a hand drawn picture of Ernie asking to be on their ball hockey team. Well, Ernie, there is the young viewer who made a nice drawing for you, saying, "Hey, Ernie, can you play? You want to play on their ball hockey team? Well, you can play in that." And I even made a playing card for you. And I don't know if it's coming out on the camera much. Okay, so I'll show the viewers, and then we'll go to our next sports news item. And well, I guess they must have got the parents to do the sports news review written part on it, and uh, it's really hard to show it. I have to diffuse the sunlight right now. Uh, I'm just using something that the right angle. It's really yeah, it's really hard. Okay, yeah, I have to diffuse some sunlight, or else it's too bright for the camera. So now I'll take. Okay, so I'll take this down because I got just I don't know if it's gonna come out. Okay, well, so we'll take this down. So we'll see. Okay, maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, so whatever. If it. Okay, so okay, you got the blocker and the catcher. So Ernie is I guess it would be a ball hockey team because the pads are really small. Yeah, and yeah. So Ernie, I guess someone out there wants you to be on their. I should have put it like this. Someone out there wants you to be. How far can I go? Someone out there wants you to be on your ball hockey team. Now, you know what? Oh my gosh, they forgot to draw Felix too. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, maybe it's coming. Oh, okay. Anyone out there? There's Felix, and if you want to draw Felix and send it in, and Felix will be all happy about it. So okay, so we'll file this away, Ernie. I know uh, this is part. Unfortunately, it's probably a sports news review, and if you really want it, Ernie really wants it, but can we keep it, Ernie? He's like, sure. Okay, he's like, sure, you can keep it. We're gonna keep it here, sports news review, and uh, well, it was. You know what, Ernie? It is your property, I guess, because when I think of it, the person is giving it to you for Ernie. Uh, it, we could get into all these technicalities of who it is. Ernie, whatever you want to do with this photo, we'll put it away. We're going to file it away nicely. It's part of our studio. We're going to put it in the hallway, the big grand hallway of the Sports News Review studio. And, like, the way this is just in our grand hallway. And, we'll, from there, we'll see. what Ernie wants to do with it. We'll hang it up there and see if Ernie wants to keep it up there or if he wants to just bring it home. So, well, here at Sports News Review, we are encouraging anyone if they want to bring it, if they want to do some quick drawings of all our Sports News Review broadcasters. I'm fine with it. We're all fine with it. Send them in. As far as us receiving it, I don't know how. Because I'm not giving out any addresses or any email addresses or any other social media addresses. So, in other words, that's just me drawing. Okay, we'll end this right now and go to our next story. Alrighty, Ernie, we're looking up it was the darts, the Bedford World Championship in England, and it was from July the 13th to the 21st, and it's actually really known as the Bedford World Match Play. I should have put that in there. I should have put the Bedford World Match Play. I thought it was the World Championship. I just went on another webpage. Well, Wikipedia has it as the 2024 World Match Play, but the Bedford World Match Play. Okay, so yeah, the date. Okay, so we're looking at your date. It was the July the 13th to the 21st of this year. The venue was the Winter Gardens. Now it's in Blackpool. Okay, let me see this Winter Gardens. Okay, Winter Gardens. Ooh, snazzy. It's a entertainment complex in Blackpool Council. So it must be in Blackpool. Blackpool. Okay. Well, I'm just looking at the front entrance, and yeah, it says live show, cabaret. Oh, I knew cabaret. Ernie likes cabarets. You like cabarets, Ernie? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he does. I'm not sure if I do. I'd give it a try. I wouldn't be able to sit through it, but watching on television, yeah, I don't know. Give it a try. Give anything a try. I never, when I was a young person, I never looked at cabarets, but cabaret. I only know that cabaret. Right? You know the the cabaret. I think it was like a play in a movie, a show, like a Broadway play and movies. Like one movie, Killer Cabaret, like Cabaret. It's forever. I could never get that out of there. Okay, so it was in Blackpool. Blackpool. Let's see where's okay. It's in England. I know it's in England. It's a seaside resort town in Lancashire, England. Let's see. The surrounding area is big, so you can't always just go by. Okay, so I'm looking geography. The geography of it is. Oh yeah, look, a view from Blackpool Tower. Okay, it is. Okay, yeah. When it comes to yeah, when it comes to like it says like Blackpool was originally a village. Yeah, how long ago? Like hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, a couple of hundred years ago, it was just a small village. But now Blackpool is part of the what is it, Leicester, and yeah. So okay, so we're looking. I'm looking at it now. Okay, so the tournament information. Okay, and the let's see, let's see. Oh, oh, Luke Humphreys is the winner. Oh, okay, because I am well aware who Luke Humphreys is. Okay, it's the winner. Okay, I know who Luke Humphreys is. Okay, because he won the big the previous one, which like I want to do that one for sure. It's in the winter. It's in the winter time when interest is really high for darts because it's an indoor event. And okay, so it was the Luke Humphreys. It won his first match play title, beating Michael Van Gerwen in the final. So is it? Yeah, champion is Luke Humphreys. Okay, Luke Humphreys, born. I've said this before, and I know there's his moniker also, the nickname you can say, Cool Hand Luke. Okay, yes, he's the reigning Grand Prix champion, and he also won the 2019 PDC World Youth Championship. Oh, okay. Forget how young these people are in this world. Yeah. Okay, so Luke Humphreys, quite the career so far in darts. Like he is a name in darts to remember. Let's, let's see. Now looking at the right. Okay, so the darts Bedford World Championship in England, and it was the on the men's side was the Kuhan Luke Humphreys. Who went on the women's side? Let's see. Was there? I did put up women's, so there must have been the. Okay, so I gotta look up again. Okay, so what I'm gonna need to do is put it in the search engine and add women's. So we can add. It should be the same time. So the 2024 Women's World Match Play. Okay, there's the third edition. Okay, and okay, so it was yeah. Okay, okay, July 21st, and your champion is, if I say it correctly, Bio Greaves. Okay, so Bio Greaves is born January 9th, 2004. Ooh, isn't that Ernie, we are getting so old. Someone just won a championship, World Arts Championship, in 2024, and they were born in 2004. Oh my gosh, Ernie, 2004 to us is like yesterday. I already know the year 2000, like, as in like uh, January 31st, 1999, 2000. And after that, it's been a blur. And because of the way it was been a blur, and we'll get to the champion in a second, and we'll. I don't even want to show a picture because this. I have a 2-bit YouTube channel, and I don't know the procedures on what am I allowed to show and what I'm not allowed to show on YouTube. So I'm just gonna not show anything on YouTube from now on. You notice I don't show anything except the hand drawn facility of Ernie, because I don't know the proper procedure. So it's best to just leave it as it is. But like Ernie, this goes back full circle to the whole point why I started not really, also World Sports News is its own reason, but the reason I started the Sports News Review channel was to get back into watching sports, which I've been doing the last few, like watching sports, but then it was like noticing that I got no one to talk to really in this, this fun-filled world we live in, and I'm like, I really don't have anyone to talk to, and I, I decided to do a sports news review channel. Like, out of nowhere, I'm gonna do a sports news review channel, and then it was like, okay, I did a sports news review channel. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing at first. So, but then, World Sports News. Then it was like came along only because I started. World Sports News with Ernie came along is I started noticing that I'm not doing other sports like I thought I was compared to like the NFL football. Like I, and I was like, wait, if I'm a sports news review channel and all this is just everybody's just seeing NFL football, like it's not good, or XFL football at the time, and later on the CFL football. Like, I'm really not a sports news review channel. I'm because I did quote Ernie. If as you seen the early ones, where I did like cold readings of sports news, and yeah, and I try to do news like a real news, and it's like I can't. It takes too. That's why they're called organizations, like a sports news organization, because they have a lot of staff. I don't. A staff of one cannot. Even though it's just a simple YouTube channel, I had, I, I couldn't constantly do cold readings. It was just because, like, hey, I didn't want to touch that. I didn't want to touch that. I didn't want to touch that subject. I didn't want to. I was like, well, instead of not touching that subject live on air, Ernie, like, I'm like, because that's why I don't do cold readings and analysis with uh, Ernie like I used to. Now I try to make sure like, putting it out on the boards. I didn't have boards. Yeah, these boards also are these boards here, like this. That's just the marquee board. Sorry to point over your head, Ernie, but that's just the marquee board for what the program is currently right now. Which currently program. Now these I got four of these boards. You go back to those stores, they sell them. They're all gone. I'm like, ooh, lucky I got four of them, because you get a lot of letters and easy to fill these out. Hey, trust me, doing this channel, it's like the person talking here. Here's me. How could I fit right here? Okay, I'll fit right here. This is me talking in front of. This is me now, presenter. Okay, this looks out of. I'm getting out of hand here. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna use my hand as a presenter. Okay, so the whole point is that I got four of these boards, and I'm like, wow. I went back to go get a fifth one. I'm like, oh, okay. Look around other places. Oh, they're all gone. I'm like, oh, okay, they're all gone. But like, I don't have the funds to do a video screen that could. In a world that I would like, I would like that if Ernie and Sylvester and Coach Coyote and the Munchie Brothers had an actual video screen behind them, and that changed. I could, on the computer, it would change on the video screen. I tried, right? You know what I mean? It's just you gotta watch the progression of World Sports. Of Sports News Review from the first video to now. It was a progression out of a simple idea saying, I'm going to change the channel, World Sports News. I really thought I was just going to like I said, just read cold readings of sports, and yeah, it was like wait a minute, I really don't watch that much NHL like I used to. I really don't, and I don't watch NBA like I used to. Like I used to watch a lot of NBA, and now it's like, yeah. Now I'm like, yeah. Like I said, hockey and ice hockey, NHL. I really don't watch that much. Not hardly any at all. Like I really don't. So I was like, I can't really report on sports I don't really watch anymore like I used to. And then I was like, coming to the conclusion that, like, wait, you know, you're gonna come to World Sports News with Ernie, and that's when you start with World Sports News with Ernie. Like, wait, I can't, I can't, I can't promote really violent sports like hockey anymore. It's like it doesn't fit the bill for being with Ernie and a nice little rubber ducky. Well, he's a plush. He's actually a plush toy. Got in like put it this way, that plush toy is older than the champion of the women's Bedford World Champion. That plush toy is actually older. Right here, I've had this for a very very long time, and that's why it's like, and and so we we, like I said, we try our best at World Sports News, and so what I'm getting at is, uh, well, let me hit pause for a second. Well, so we'll go, Ernie. We'll go with the champion again, and for the women's darts champion was Bo Graves, born January 2004. And Ernie, I went on that spiel about January 2004 being the age, going, oh my gosh, like that's like that, Ernie, that's someone's entire existence, in this world from 2004. Whereas to us, it's like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know about for you. Maybe I should just speak for myself, Ernie. That, like, her entire existence is like blurred to me. I enjoyed life. I went out in the boat. I was out in the boat, Ernie. But your health gets to a point where you can't do it like you used to anymore. Like as in being out in the boat. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's it's just reflecting on the sudden dramatic change in health where instead of me being out in a boat, I'm lying down on a bed, speaking into a microphone. Well, you can't see the microphone. It's not that. Of course, we know that the NSNR microphone over there is just a prop, and the microphone is actually a dual microphone on the actual camera. So, instead of being like I said, instead of being out in a boat, and that's the way it goes, and life continues. And yeah, so she's from she's born January 9th, 2004. Doncaster, South Yorkshire was she was born, and let's look at the how many. Let's see. She has won previous championships too, so she is a name in women's darts. Okay, so your 2024 Bradford. It's actually the Bradford World Championship, but it's actually the what was it again? It was another name, but the maybe I should go back to the name. The because I think it's so the 2024 women's the Betfred Women's World Match Play 2024. I wouldn't have had enough room to write all that on the board, anyways. But your your champion is Bo Graves. Okay, Ernie. Well, can't wait to really, when upcoming October, November, December, especially December, darts. You're gonna see more darts action happening because indoor sport, and more people are going indoor. It was such a treat to be able to report on. I didn't see any darts action. The last time I seen darts was somebody. The last darts I seen was someone put on YouTube. They they risked a channel. It must have been a burner channel. They lose. I wouldn't recommend it, Ernie, to do that. To put a burner channel and then show live events and go, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna lose it. You may lose all your channels associated with, say, a certain whatever, how he signed in, for the emails and verifications and all that. I mean, like like there's a lot of steps, and it's like I don't see it being nice to try to get other people's channels knocked down and this and that, but you know, but if someone broadcasts an actual live event, which I watched for Luke Lidler, because he was only 16 years old, in the men's, Luke in the men's division, and he was only 16, and there he is in a championship, and it was like, ooh, uh, she's only 20, so I didn't realize that she's going to be the future of darts for women's, and that's going to be nice. And we're thinking, wait, is Luke Lidler the future of darts? I suppose his time will really come. But right now, Luke Humphreys in the men division is really the face of darts for the men's division. But yeah, so like I said, this is. Like I said, that's the only chance I had to watch darts. It was that. It was like I just felt like, what the heck? Oh my gosh! Somebody is risking their YouTube channel to broadcast this, and like, why? Just okay. You got the views, of course. You live streamed a live event like that. You got the views, but I'm like, okay, but you lost the channel, and you never know. Okay. So, oh my gosh. Maybe not enough clock. I don't want to upgrade right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Not enough cloud storage. How long am I in this video? I know I don't care. Because I'm just going to wrap this up with the next board right now. Alrighty, I got the last board up, Ernie. And World Sports News Olympic coverage we'll start with. And it's going to be a twofold thing where it's going to be what we at Sports News Review will be looking at. And 1 second, Ernie. Let's just pause for a second. Well, yeah, I'm looking at all the Olympic sports coverage here. And for World Sports News Olympic coverage, I guess, I'm going to be like, I don't know. I'm mostly interested in team handball, TEAM, team handball, surfing, and the what was the other one? Skateboarding. Yeah, I'm just Ernie, I'm even gonna watch breakdancing for no reason. I'm looking at the other sports. Rowing. I'll watch. If I happen to come across rowing, I'll definitely watch rowing. Volleyball, I suppose I can kind of watch volleyball. Uh, Gymnastics, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be watching gymnastics, really. Not sure. Okay. Well, the hockey is different. Hockey would be the field hockey. So I'll be watching the field hockey. If it was like the winter sports, ice hockey, probably not. But field hockey, yeah, it's something different. It's something completely different. Instead of all the same old sports, table tennis, of course. You got your table tennis, and that's definitely sure. If I'm flip, as they say, channel surfing. That's the only surfing I'm doing these days is channel surfing. But I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm surfing. I said it over to myself over and over. I am gonna watch the highlights of surfing. Surfing is a definitely yes, it's coming in. It's definitely gonna happen. So I'm looking up some stories on the surfing, and one of them is why the Olympic surfing venue is 16,000 kilometers away from Paris. Well, because if they wanted to guarantee that there's some good surfing, so it's in French Polynesia, so technically part of the France. I don't. It's not a big deal. It's not just. In other words, they're breaking the old archaic traditions of like, oh, it's gotta be within the same country in the same geography. Whatever, who cares? Just enjoy surfing. Let's all enjoy it. And it's like says, and one of them was like, someone says that like, why the viewers would be wowed by the surfing? Yeah, because the cameras will be okay. This is just like the Sail GP series where we were kind of we threw on to World Sports News with Ernie was all the Sail GP series, and it was the technology of today that helps like to be able to watch this nice sport of surfing. I'm sorry, of sailing and surfing too. Surfing also. Well, now this Olympic surfing, like the cameras are going to be like extremely really good uh, picture quality close-ups. They might even shoot it in 8K of some parts, and of course there'll be maybe even the surfer camera board out there. Someone with a camera, but not on the same wave as them. That's their wave. So yeah, I mean, like Ernie, World Sports News, Olympic coverage next week will be the mostly surfing, skateboarding, uh, field hockey, and the team handball. Those are the four I could think right now that I'm guaranteed to watch. Guaranteed to watch those four to report on. But as far as the other sports, as we said on World Sports News, there's just so many sports out there. And my videos take so long, and I really don't watch soccer that much, and I don't report on soccer. Because when it comes to World Sports News, with everything to go hear soccer stories, soccer news reports, I don't really watch that much. So, yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the surfing. Alrighty, Ernie. Okay, we're gonna do our last one. We're gonna do the last one quick because the 2024 AKC Diving Dog Challenge, that's the American Kennel Club, the AKC, it was a while back, but I watched it, Ernie, and I didn't care if it was taped earlier, like it was, previously aired. It was previously aired on ESPN2 on April the 9th. Okay, so okay, so Ernie, it was like looking it up again. It was earlier this year in Glendale, Arizona, but I watched the 2024 AKC Diving Dog Challenge. I thought it was like just recently, like a week ago or something like that. I was watching it because it's in Glendale, Arizona, and I'm looking. The weather looks nice. It doesn't look wintry, as they say. It didn't have a winter look to it. So, I go, oh, perfect. I got something to put for the Odd Sport review and the 2024 AKC Diving Dog Challenge, but it was like in February. Okay, um, I guess I gotta remember in February 2025. Look out for the American Kennel Club Diving Dog Challenge, or who knows, it could be on a different month. But starting in January is when, actually maybe December of 2024. look for the 2025 AKC Diving Dog Challenge and report on the date that's going to happen. But right now, I enjoy. I watched it. I enjoyed it, Ernie, and seeing the dogs. They're so happy. They're like they just wanted to jump. They loved the idea of just jumping in the pool, like the makeshift pool that they make for the event. And yeah, it was just like they hold. So Ernie, they just hold it because the dogs don't know when to go on. So they tell the owner. Well, I guess you have to call them. We don't mean it like in a derogatory way that they're owners, Ernie. Like but well, the parent, you could say, of the dog, and because Ernie, they're part of the family, and they say it too that the dogs are part of their family when they don't consider them like pets. No, part of the family. Me too. I would be the same way if I had a dog or if I had a cat. Part of my family. He's my immediate family. My immediate family. I don't care if other family members go, "Oh, it's just your pet." I go, "Nope, he's part of my family," and it's just the way it is. Just like everyone else here, even though you're not, you're all puppets, but you're all part of the Sports News Review family, and but there's a difference between the microphone. It's not part of the microphone and the boards are not part of the Sports News Review family. They're part of just the Sports News Review equipment. Felix, you, and the rest of the crew, we're all part of the Sports News Review family. But we'll get back to the event because everyone wants to know who won. Which to me, it's not who won. It's just they all had fun. But it's all our humans always want a champion. But okay, so the American Kennel Club 2024 Diving Dog Challenge. Well, the winner was Rouge, Rouge. That's red in France. I'm French, I should say France. Where did I get that from? Okay, so Rouge, and being that it was in America, they used feet. So 28 feet. Not sure how many. That's offhand metric system how much it is right now, how far it is, but so it's over 28 feet. There was the diving champion. How far? It's mainly how far the dog dove for a thing. It was hanging, like the suspended, I should say. There was a toy that was like a long rolled up the toy that would a floating toy that would be suspended, and the farther it was suspended from the platform or the board where the dog dove off of, and it ended up being 28 feet. And pretty soon they're saying that, like in this event, they're saying they're gonna have to extend the pool when you're finding more and more interest, and people having finding that, oh my gosh, my family member, my dog, the dog can jump farther than 28 feet. So they're going to have to do something about that pool because it was pretty close to the end. It was like really close to the end. Imagine, and like I said, yeah, I mean, the water's a good land. Like I wonder if they should do that for high jump. High jump. I mean, humans doing that event. I could see humans doing that event because if you're landing in water, it's pretty safe. And with today's technology, you can determine uh, what part hit the water first. It's going to be usually the feet, farthest away. So what part hit the water first would be the marker, and we could determine a champ. Isn't that funny, Ernie? I always try to find a human humanize the sport that was like intended for like the well, because just for fun, uh, well, you think of it, the dog diving challenge is really a long jump for dogs because what incentive does a dog have to jump except for pure fun and wanting to have a toy? And I mean, and the human element is that we all want a reason to be there besides the reason of, oh, all these dogs are having so much fun jumping into a pool. I mean, and we all want, well, we all want our championships and all that. As far as I'm concerned, Ernie, all the dogs that participated in the event are champions to me. But for us humans that want a champion, it was Rouge the champion. All right. With all that, we are going to end our this edition of World Sports News with Ernie. So, with Ernie behind the desk and Felix sitting on just comfortably sitting on top of the desk, all three of us are saying over and out.